Hey there, my name is Adiola Kingsley James. I'm a life giver and a kingmaker. As a life giver, I've worked as a therapist and a hypnotherapist for years, and I've worked also in the television industry where I made kings and queens. That's why I call myself a life giver and a kingmaker. That's my identity. How are you today? So last week, we talked about some of the things that robbed me of my emotional well-being and robbed me of my joy and took away so many good things, made me feel undervalued, made me suffer. Let me use that word. And like I said, suffering is self-inflicted. However, pain is inevitable, but you can choose whether to suffer or not, and that's in your hands. You can change it around. And I said I was going to share a few things that robbed me of my joy. Last episode, I shared one of the things that I did, which was comparing myself. And I know that, we all do it at some point in our lives. Because we grew up with our parents comparing us to our siblings, comparing us to our neighbors, comparing us to our family, friends, cousins, comparing us to everybody. And so that, sparked off something in us. And then we grew up into social media that now, you're comparing yourself with everybody in the world. Now, rather than comparing, I said, let's be grateful. Let's be grateful for where we are right now. We are enough for what we need to do right now. And we can do better for what we would then need to do in the future. We're different, yes, which is great because that makes us unique. And there's nobody in this world like us. Nobody. So it's perfect to be different. Perfect. There's beauty in diversity. And when you say it's unavailable to you, how do you know that? Have you tried it out? What have you done to know if it's available to you or not? Those were the 3 sentences I mentioned, which if you ask yourself any of this or say any of these things to yourself, then you're comparing. Now, comparison is a thief of all joy, like I said, but it bred for me, or it's the word breeded, maybe, but it birthed, I would rather use that word, it birthed competition for me. So since I started to compare myself with everybody, competition now comes next, because now I'm in competition with all the people that you have compared me to. So as a child, once again, you're competing to be the most brilliant child, to be the best, to be the first, to be the only. But it's impossible for you to be the first, the best, and the only, because we're in a huge world, in a huge universe. Now, maybe you can be one of the best, maybe you can be one of the first, maybe you can be one of the, rather than that whole you must be the only one, right? And I remember then, when you come back home with, maybe you come second or you come third, your parents would ask you, the person that had first, do they have 2 hands? So make sure you become. And so, even with the kids, they're doing sports, they're doing competitions. We have to be the best. And when we grow up believing that if we're not the first, then we're a failure. Now, the truth is, being a failure and failing at something are 2 different things. Most times we personalize our failing, and which is a story for another day. However, competing makes you feel like a failure when things don't go the way you want it to go. And yes, you might have failed at something, but it doesn't make you a failure. So competition was the second thing that robbed me of my joy. Oh my goodness. I competed with everybody. When I saw people doing things, I would want to be like them, and then I would jump at it, Now, I may not have been from a really negative place, because there's now jealousy and envy. You can add those words in competing, because competing can be very unhealthy, just like it can be healthy. Because I personally believe that if somebody is doing very well, I can go and meet them and say, I'm envious of this thing you're doing, come and teach me. But jealousy is like, I want to bring you down. I want to make sure that you don't enjoy all the glory that comes with what you're doing and where you are. And then that's where the negative side of competing comes in. So healthy competition is fine, right? But when it becomes negative and I'm striving to be like you and bring you down and make you look bad and always talk negative about you, then it's bad, right? And I used to do a little bit of both, right? And I'm not even gonna lie, I used to do a little bit of both. I would see somebody, spending money, and I'll say, oh, maybe, that whole judgmental view of saying, especially if it's a woman, we have now been so conditioned to see a woman doing great things and think, oh, it's a man that sponsored her. And I used to think so, right? And I'm sure other people thought so for me. Hey, I don't think so anymore, because I know now that I'm grateful for people. I don't care how you made your money. I'm grateful for you, and I'm excited for you. I mean, because I also understand that what you sow is what you reap. So may you sow all that you have reaped, or may you reap all that you have sown, right? So healthy competition, fine. But unhealthy competition is exactly what I'm talking about, where you keep on suffering. Once again, you can never be happy when you're competing. On a negative side, never. You can't. And as women, sometimes we're silently competing with one another. I want to be, some of your friend tells you a great news and you're like, really? You want to mash it up and you want to spoil it. And I think I used to do that as well, where I'll say, oh, wait, that guy, maybe somebody will say something to me about some guy that has done something really good for them. I'm like, are you sure that guy is a serious guy? Rather than just being grateful for the person. And now I know better, I do better, right? And so I want you to do the same rather than competing. Because I'm going to tell you the challenges, and I'm going to tell you what I did to help me come out of there. I decided to collaborate and create community and have connections. So now we're creating community and connections where I'm there for you and you're there for me. My weaknesses maybe are your strengths. So I outsource my weaknesses to you that are your strengths. You outsource your weaknesses maybe that are my strengths. Or maybe it's 3 of us, maybe it's 4 of us, maybe it's 5 of us, maybe it's 6 of us, whatever. But now we're able to really be there for one another and connect deeply. Maybe I can be very vulnerable with you and say, look, I used to be like this, or I used to be jealous of you. But now there's something that you have that I really want to learn. Can you teach me? I always believe that vulnerability will get you everywhere. And that's why I always share my story. Because I know that if I'm vulnerable and I put some skin in, you can do the same as well. So today I'm pleading. Stop suffering. Start creating collaboration. Start creating connections. Start creating community. I believe that it takes a village to raise a human being, not a child. So why not I then create the village around me to meet the needs or meet the things that I desire or the requests that I have, and not say that it must come from one person, because of course that's also brooding and breeding resentment, because nobody can meet all your needs. So create a community, create a village around you to satisfy the things that make you tick. Now, I also say that you don't need anybody to do anything for you, but it's nice to have, because once you go into the space of I need it, then you're coming from a needy place, and that can also set you up for failure, to be honest, because not everybody, some people don't even see you, and you have put a need of yours on that person, and the person can't meet up with those needs, and then what happens? So the only person you need is yourself. However, it's nice to have other people to do certain things for us. So we request, we require, we would love, yes, but not a need. So get a village around you to satisfy some of your desires, some of your requests, and some of your wants. Do you have friends that you can spend time with? Do you have friends that you can connect with? Do you have friends that you can go out together? Do you have friends that you can build together? Not the ones that are telling you how useless you are and how terrible you are, and tearing you down and removing whatever self-esteem you have left in you. Not those kind of friends, because if you have 4 foolish friends, you'll be the 5th one, and if you have 4 wise friends, you'll be the 5th one. So choose wise friends. The Bible says that bad association spoils useful habits. So you don't want to associate yourself with bad people, because what will happen is once you listen to them all the time, and bad also, let me also add, that is relative, because if they're taking you away from your purpose and what serves you, then I will call that bad. If they're taking you to what serves you and what helps you and what grows you, then that's good association. So find that community of people that help you grow in the positive space, that help you that helps that the beauty in you come out. Where you have a goal, you have a dream, and you share it with them, and they're ready to help you move that dream and make it a reality, not tear that dream down. And so what happens is that the competition becomes less. It's where now the only person I'm ready to compete with is myself, my old version of yesterday. I want to be a better version today. And so I'm putting in all the things. And then same thing with my community. We're all working towards being better versions of ourselves every day. And so it becomes healthy, right? And not unhealthy, and you're not suffering. So remember, comparison, drop comparing yourself and be grateful. And now stop competing and create community. And you will see that things will start to change for you. You'll become happier, you'll be healthier, you'll be wealthier, you'll feel lighter, you'll be more fun, you'll be more exciting to be with. And you'll smile at me and you will remember me, I guess. Once again, I've got a special gift. There's a link attached to this video. And it's a special gift, my gift from my heart to you. And this gift is an audio meditation to help you wire in the wealth that you deserve and you desire. It will be, I promise you, it's phenomenal. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for the wealth that you deserve and you desire. So click the link below, subscribe. Click the link below and like. Click the link below and leave some comments for me and tell me how good I'm doing. And click the link below for the gift that I have for you. Have a wonderful day, guys. I love you.